All right, Naya Landfall Aggro. This is one of the many decks you can find on my website. I think this deck hits a sweet spot between being a little bit interactive through its 4 bolts and 4 paths, while also having an incredibly explosive game plan with some consistency. So this deck can generate a turn 3 kill. You can go turn 1 Steppe Lynx, turn 2 Plated Geopede, and then turn 3 fetch land, Rallier back your fetch land, and attack for a pretty significant amount of damage. This deck, like Elves, which is another reason I like Elves, is also gets to play 4 copies of Damping Sphere in the sideboard. So being a deck that can generate turn 3, turn 4 kills and also get to leverage Damping Sphere, I think is very reasonable inside of Modern. This deck also gets to pivot into a more mid-range role against other aggressive decks. So basically, this deck can be a mid-range deck when being a mid-range deck is good, and when being mid-range deck is not good, which is often in Modern, you get to just kill people. So we've got like Lightning Helixes in the sideboard for when we want to board up to 11 removal spells, along with another tracker and some Chandras to generate extra card advantage with. So I'm going to keep this hand with the asterisk that if they play a Tron land on one, we're going to concede. Like, this hand is kind of mid-rangey. It doesn't have any of our aggressive creatures in it, but it's definitely got like lands and spells and is very keepable. Opponent went to 5 and played a fetch. That's really good for us. Look at that. We drew a threat on one. God bless. Let's grab a Stomping Ground here. Oh, I probably need to update the Stream Decker. Alright, Stream Decker should be good to go. Yeah, I think there's about 50 or 60 different decks that could top 8 and open on any given weekend, and I'd include this in the list of them. So I'm not just plugging my sponsors, I swear. Magic Online has crashed. Magic Online is dead, so I'm gonna restart Magic Online here because, well, you know, features. If you haven't seen this deck before and you think it looks good or you want to see more of it after this league today, on my website under the either fan favorite or high potential one of the two. If you search Naya Landfall on my website, you're gonna find a bunch more videos with this deck. All of my previous content gets organized on my YouTube channel. It's one of them Moto features. I'm going to decline to crack this fetch land during their end step, because this way if I draw a basic land or a Ghost Quarter next turn, I can crack it on my turn 3, so I have Revolt, so I can Renegade Rally or something back. Captain Obvious, thanks for the 6 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it. What does this shock there mean? They have a removal spell? They have like a terminate maybe? This isn't a fetch land, but it does let me cast the Knight at least. That's nice. Wow. I cannot believe they terminated that. I would like my Scavenging Ooze back, please. Go. I guess that's why they were aggressive, because it lets them flip this over before I can do much. That's a pretty good draw. Let's attack first here. I bet they're on some number of Damnation. Probably still going to commit the Tireless Tracker to the board, though, because I'm going to have to draw 2 cards with it, which is nice. If they drew a counterspell for the turn, they're not activating Ascantus. That's, like, still kind of a win for me. Sure. That's pretty good if they have a land. I'm no longer clueless, though. And, like, if they get a 2-for-1 with this Engineered Explosives this turn, like, this got the Scavenging Ooze and this brought the clues along with it, so I'm still, like, in a pretty good spot here, right? And if they don't have the 5th untapped lands here, they're in a lot of trouble. This is explosives, crack explosives, I'd assume. They probably want to crack it right away before I can make another clue. I'm definitely attacking with this. I don't think I want to eat anything. I don't think I want to play the Wild Nacatl either. I want to leave up a green so my opponent can't snap push or snap terminate next turn. Leaving up green for Scavenging Ooze denies them access to their Snapcaster Mage. They're dead on board. They're dead through a blocker. They need a removal spell here. So leaving the Stomping Ground up leaves them dead. Yeah, sure. Leaving up Temple's technically better. This will definitely be a matchup where we want to pull up. What's the boot for? The boot is so the hardworking members of Hoglandia that build this great nation can have their feet be protected. Can't have your feet wearing out. So this doesn't save them. They need a removal spell here as well. Hey, Matthew, thanks for the biddies. I appreciate it. Happy to get that one added back in. Two things I learned in the military is protect your feet and back. Yep. Kessig's probably fine to board in here. Grim Lavamancer doesn't seem like it's very good. Probably trim a couple of Path to Exiles. I'm gonna leave the bolts in. The bolts are a little bit of reach, and they kill their what's it called? Snapcasters. The couple of paths are probably fine to leaving, so they likely have a couple of copies of Tassiger. How much longer is the charity cheering going on? Until the 27th. Onward, upward, backward, forward. This is exactly the type of grindy deck we have extra trackers and Chandras on the board for, just like ways to draw cards. The nice thing about Tracker and Chandra is that while they're sources of card advantage, they're also cards that are just like aggressive, right? They still pressure our opponent's health total, which is nice. Easy mulligan. Seems very reasonable. I'm gonna go ahead and bottom that. Not looking for a 4-drop, looking for a third land at the moment. Alright, still looking for that third land. Grab a Stomping Ground here, play Wild Nacatl out. It turns out money can buy you mod ship, which is close. That's true. That's true. At a certain point, I do hand out mod swords for dollars too. If you want to do the charity cheering, you just put hashtag charity in your cheer somewhere. And then Twitch donates 20% of whatever you cheer to charity. They're taking that out of their cut. The streamers still get the full amount from the cheer. You also get a snowflake icon. That's true. Snowflake chat badge. I've had a hard time watching paper event coverage for a while. It's just really tough. The downtime's the most brutal, honestly. Land. Nothing says Magic more than boarding into a 26th land and then missing your 3rd land drop on the draw with the Scry. Thank you for the biddies, Vile. I appreciate it. No removal spell there is good for us, unless they untap and play a sweeper. How much of a cut does Shears does Twitch normally get? It depends on how much you buy at the same time at a time. So Twitch doesn't take a cut when you cheer. Twitch takes a cut when you purchase the bits. And how much of a cut they take depends on what platform you buy them on. So like when you buy bits on mobile, they're more expensive because Android or Google needs a cut. And when you buy more bits, they take a lower cut. The Lone Pox League was Sadness Incarnate. No, I'm not a big fan of the Scape Shift build. The Scape Shift build is cuter than this one, but it's also far less consistent. Doing all right, Robert. It's been kind of a brutal day for modern matches. The Legacy deck we played this morning was kind of sweet, though. Is this a Gurmag Angler? Smells like a big fish. Will do, Vile. Oh, just a Tassiger. That's good for me. There's only one basic plains in my deck, right? Pretty sure. Yeah, alright. So we're going to do this. Gonna grab Wooded Foothills. We're gonna fetch with this. Grab Sacred Foundry. Yeah, even humans, like, I was like, humans was in the list, and I was like, oh, good. We'll have at least one deck that'll do well today. Just like, nope. Hopefully this one's our saving grace. I think 7-land Belcher is the deck of the day currently. That one had some fun games at least. Yeah, we played against Hardened Scales twice, and then also got thrashed by Tron. Missing out land drops feels so bad, especially after we boarded up to 26. All right. Really like to draw land this turn. That'll do two, pig. That'll do two. Attack you to 11. Go. They are large ladies. Huh. So they have like a Terminate here, or like Snap. Oh, if they have a Snapcaster, I'm dead. They have a Bolt in the bin. Hey, what's going on, Vile? Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Bet we're about to die to a Snapcaster Mage. They're just like, have a bolt or a key command in their hand and they're gonna BM me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I tapped my lands wrong and I couldn't play this Wild Nacatl. Do 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 do. I guess they wanted to play around a removal spell. Maybe they wanted to play around a removal spell. They just like had another bolt in their hand. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's a good play if they have the push plus the bolt. It lets them win through removal. I like that line, assuming they have both push and bolt in their hand. Do 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 do. Darn control deck's taking so long. You've been 21 minutes and we're still playing the same match of Magic. What is this wizardry? Oh, my opponent's just taking forever? Probably. We've been playing this match for 22 minutes. How long has my opponent taken? All of it? Most of it? Some of it? Probably most of it. Most of it. I've taken 4.5, 5.5. Oh, some days you're the pigeon, chat. Other days you're the statue. Seems real good. Yeah. Well, I don't know what anybody was expecting. Anybody who was expecting the best of one ladder not just be mono aggro decks at the top is just like kidding themselves. I'm holding on to this fetch land in the hopes that it will be able to make this a 5/5 and hit them next turn. Let's pump some old school Jeff action. Put this towards Kiki Cord. Thank you for the biddies, Alex. Will do. Yep. Okay, well that's actually a really good draw. The way that they've been using their spot removals here kind of implies to me that they don't have a sweeper in their hand potentially, so I get to do this and bring back Wild Nacatl here. Just like get 6 power across 2 bodies for 3 mana is not bad. I could have gotten back the Plated Geopede assuming I draw some lands, but like there's a chance that that doesn't happen, so I'd rather not. Yeah, I did, wife. I just responded to you. Satasigur. Oh, God, that's brutal. Hey, what's going on, Miles? Hope you had a good trip. I think I hold the Horizon Canopy crack till their end of turn, so that way if they K-command me here again... It does look like Modern from a long time ago. You're not wrong. They're just gonna like K-command me again here. Just make me incredibly sad. I'm just gonna move along with our lives. Hey, Arrowhead, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine. Onward, upward, backward, forward. While waiting for the next match of this league to pop, I'd just like to thank everyone for being out here today. My name is Jeff Hogan. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here in Twitch. If you enjoy my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full-time. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their wonderful support. Past subscribing, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors, mtgotraders.com. Love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you, and if you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there with them. Neo creates wonderful candy-flavored protein bars using code Hoagland at bit.ly/HoogleBar. You can save 10% on all your orders with them. CoolStuffInc.com buy and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles using promo code Jeff5. You can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, Warhammer, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. And of course, you might hear my wonderful shuffling deck going here. My shuffling deck is protected by none other than my BCW Elite Guard sleeves using code Jeff10 at bcwsupplies.com. You can save 10% on your sleeves, deck boxes, and all sorts of other supplies with them. The picture that's framed in the background is the card art from a now defunct digital card game called Hex TCG. Every year they put someone's image on one of the cards in their game, and one of the years they put my likeness on one of their cards. I streamed that game for a little while. It was a fun game. I'm sad that they ran out of money. Glad Arena's here to have good digital card games again. Hopefully they are a deck that cares about Grim Lavamancer. Just remember, when you register a control deck in Modern and everything goes wrong, you have but one person to blame. No, I didn't get to design the card. So their designers designed the card and they just put my image on it. Or artwork resembling my image. Do I change the sleeves? I actually have never changed these sleeves. So they are the original sleeves from a few months now at this point. They sent me a bunch of sleeves when they signed on as a sponsor. So they pathed the Lava Man as opposed to the Plated Geopede, so they either have another removal spell or they're a creature deck that cares about that. They must just have another removal spell then, right? Yeah, the elite cards hold up really well. They do bake in a little bit at the top, like similar to how Dragon Shields do on occasion as they get older, but they don't really split. I'm not exactly gentle with them. I shuffle my deck, you could say, vigorously. Alright, knock you to 10. I have 4 power in play. I'm attacking for 8 next turn, plus I have a lethal bolt potentially. So if they tap out for something silly, I could kill them. Nice, Ribson. It must be fun. There's a reason why Corey Burkhart keeps registering it. Being electrolyzed. Alright, so they're dead too. A lightning bolt off the top. It's not a terrible draw. So, hoping to avoid getting swept later. So, I can do this tapped. Rallier, get back Geopede. Play Scavenging Ooze. I think I just go all in here. I don't think I'm in a position to beat a sweeper this game, so let's just not try. I don't have enough cards left over. Like, I could hold the Scooze back, but, like, the Scooze isn't going to beat a sweeper most likely anyway, so let's just, like, hope they don't have it. So that way I can, by going wide here, I give myself the best possible chance to beat things like Snapcaster and removal spells. They left a card on top. That's not good for me. Okie doke. Yep. Do 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 do. Thanks, I guess. Thanks. I don't really know what to say there other than thanks. Lethal Teferi, right? Gonna mulligan the 6-lander with one of the 2 bolts I kept in my deck. I'm gonna keep this. There's 26 lands in my deck. God bless. Alright, let's do it. Well, hopefully if we aren't gonna draw any more lands, they will path us at some point. They just click through their first main phase? Yeah, okay. God bless us, everyone. Wonder if Bolt is a reason to wait there. Maybe. Hopefully, the turn they tap out for a sweeper, we'll have our 4th land by and get to Chandra them. God, do they have a Spell Snare too? They have like Bolt into Spell Snare. That would just be super punishing. Alright, tap shock, deal. So I think this turn is fetch land, Qasali Pridemage, little extra incentive to run back my build around with changes. Prefer offline. Thank you, Brian. I'm going to do a bunch of offline stuff the next couple of days that'll go up over the weekend into next week, so forget how far down the list goes at the moment. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. All right, come on. Untapped land. Come on. Come on. Magic. The missing the 4th land drop after you board up to the 26th land is just like, it's such a Magic thing. Just like, well, I'm not surprised, but I'm still disappointed. Are you pathing me? Please path me. Rats, they're gonna do it during my upkeep like a smart person. Why must you sequence correctly, opponent? Why couldn't you be a big silly and do it on your turn so I could slam this Chandra? If this Chandra resolves, I might keep playing, but otherwise probably not. I guess there's a good chance this resolves. They might have less counterspells post-board. They probably have Cryptic Command in their deck still. Yeah, that makes sense, because Cryptic Command's a fog, right? You know, I don't really have anything to change. I would love to play first. Thank you for asking. Seems like reasonable, I guess. I don't know, like Bolt's not really a card. It has 4 guaranteed lands, though, so I'm going to have to cast whatever I draw. There's Cat Tribal in it. Meow. Play this so we can attack for 3 on turn 2. Or for 4 on turn 2, sorry. What's going on, Kojo? Catch us right at the tail end today here. Going for a little bit more at least. But it went top, bottom there. That's a good one to hit. So we're going to hit for 4 this turn. If they do something silly like tap out for Azcanta next turn, we get to hit them for 11. Which leaves them almost into the bolt. I love most of the new shock lands from this latest iteration, so I'm hoping they continue to keep those sweet. Best league they've all been kind of brutal, honestly. Probably the Belcher League, because the Belcher League was at least fun. Is like that at least a deck that's sweet when you're getting beat up. The rest of these have all just been kind of brutal, honestly. Yep. Yeah, I'll probably remember I tag my favorite league every day too. Hashtag Hooglepick. We might be stealing this one because they kept a bad hand, just like angering me, so you're dead. Alright, sweet. Nice. Turn 3 sweeper, turn 4 kill you. I'm glad this bolt is good enough because it's all I got. God bless. Maybe this league, maybe this one's about to rally back and this is about to be the best one. We're one and one. Things could be looking up here. Maybe it can work its way out from here on out. What are they doing? They've got Utopia Sprawl on green. They cast a Scavenging Ooze. Like if they're Panza, they name red. Are they Green Devotion maybe? They're not Panza because it's named green. So I'm putting them on Green Devotion, which I think means Trackers out, Helixes in, kill their mana creatures. Ghost Quarter's great because I can take them off their sprawls. Now I think even if they're Panza, they name red there, especially if they're like missing another land, right? And they're probably a Devotion / Tooth and Nail deck, I think is what I put them on. Yeah, my opponent kept a 1-lander on the play and died. What do you think about open-ended questions? They're some of the best and some of the worst. They go in a lot of different directions. I don't think I'm really worried about Blood Moon out of them. And like we showed them we're a red-green deck, so like I'm not really sure that Blood Moon's like where I want to be in life. Chandra's not really a removal spell. Like in the matches where you need a removal spell, Chandra doesn't really count. Like she's not a removal spell when you need removal spells ASAP. So, kill your dork. I'm a good curve here. Get to go Scoos into Rallier. Or Scoos into Knight potentially too, depending on what we're looking to do. Depends on what we draw, what they do. blue. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, so now we're going to go Geopede into Rallier here. Is Knight of the Reliquary good in this deck or still just a trap? I think it's good in this deck. Knight of the Reliquary is like a landfall creature that like keeps the landfall across different turns. Because we have 14 fetch lands in this deck. They could be Bring to Kiki. It's a reasonable read. You have to get like Resto untap, kill me. Getting pathed, but I really wanted to attack you for 9, opponent. Why would you path me? It's only a 1/1. It's a little baby bug. Why would you path the little baby bug? No, they named blue with the Utopia Sprawl. There's an Ichthos. Okay, so back to green devotion, I think. Bant devotion. I don't know. Let's just. All right, so we're getting primal commanded. That's whatever. I have both Knight of the Reliquary and Horizon Canopy to get through primal command locks, which is nice. Oh, I should have shocked that in rather than paying one off of this. Whatever. So they grabbed Eternal Witness there. Can I get a witness? Sure. Is this one getting path or it's getting command back? Okay. I guess maybe I'm supposed to play the Scoos and just leave the Scoos up since they have the witness coming off the top that I know about, or the witness in their hand that I know about. So what do I want to do here? I think I'm going to shock this in. I'm going to bolt this to take their devotion down. I'm going to attack them for a large chunk. I'm going to Renegade Rallier back this Horizon Canopy. So they have how much mana do they have next turn? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I can attack with all of them. I guess if I wait on this, I get 1 more damage because of this. That doesn't bode well for me. Yeah, so like the fact that I missed a point of damage here is like super relevant because them being at 7 versus being at 6 means that the 2 Renegade Ralliers aren't lethal on their own. Whereas if they were at 6, they would be lethal on their own. So leaving the Eternal Witness in play lets them trade with my threat though. So they're gaining 7 and looking for a creature. They got Eternal Witness, sure. Doing all right. Is that lethal? Maybe? Another bolt would be lethal. Path is lethal. So you get to path this, helix them, and they're dead. Sweet. Good clean live in. This is 12, this is 3. Get you. Yeah, maybe even blue with the Sprawl was a misclick. Maybe they have some blue cards in their deck, who knows? Some of these decks splash the 4-mana Kiora that untaps a land. Although I'm not sure that I've seen the white splash before. Kind of toolbox. So, like, part of the reason why Knight of the Reliquary isn't great in Modern is I think too many people try and toolbox too much with it. The reason why Knight's kind of okay in this deck is because it's just a big dumb beater. This deck is aggressive first and kind of interactive second. Hey, Toldano, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. That's right. It's not quite as big. It's bigger than Dinosaur sometimes, right? Like Knight gets like Galta big sometimes. She gets hangry. Ready to like beat people down. Give them the business. Yeah, this deck can kill on turn 3. Just like all you can ask for a deck in Modern. Yeah, with Damping Sphere now, you beat Tron that way. So, and Damping Sphere gets you mileage against decks like Storm 2, which can also race you pretty consistently. So, one of the big things I like about this deck is actually the same thing that I really like about playing Green Black Elves, is that being able to play a combo deck, or not a combo deck, being able to play a deck that has a consistently fast draw that also gets to play Damping Sphere, I think is a very reasonable place to be in Modern. Because you want to be able to kill people quickly, but also have some of the best interaction in the format. Hollowed one. Okay. Path to Exile is good in our opener if they're playing Hollowed one. Hopefully they don't have too many. They have none. That's good for me. Here, my kitty purr. Really like to draw another 1-drop or a 2-drop next turn. Collective Brutality, sure. On 3, my Renegade Rallier is going to get to bring my Wild Nacatl back into play as a 3/3. It shall come back stronger than before. I'm actually going to get set up pretty well here, right? Like, they're going to play a Delve Threat. I'm going to path it. I'm going to untap and then put 6 power into play. Like, still have Night left over. Renegade Rallier's just such a sweet card because it's a modal card, right? Like, it's a card where when we need to push damage, it can push damage by giving us more lands to trigger Landfall. And when we need to be value-oriented to get back threats because they're playing removal spells, it can do that as well. It just, like, does a couple different things. And, like, even if they play another large threat here, I'll be able to attack plus bolt it down, which seems fine for me. Is this a Collective Brutality? It's not a Delve Threat. I guess it could be another Tassiger, theoretically. Wow, they bend a Bolt to check my hand rather than kill the Wild Nacatl. Oh, they just are also killing Wild Nacatl. Got it. Our hand's super threat dense. They're just kind of spinning their tires. And, like, this is a game where, like, my Knight of the Reliquary is going to get big enough to, like, attack through and, like, tango with Delve Threats, which is nice. Looks like they have a Delve Threat, speaking of. So would love to draw another path here. Opponent concedes, sure. The opponent is likely playing red-black Hollowed One. So Grim Lavamancer leaves a little bit to be desired here. I think I want to leave a couple trackers in. Honestly, I might just bring in a couple of Chandras. Like dealing 4 to a thing and then like being able to draw cards seems good. She honestly just might be better than Tireless Tracker, because Tracker like takes mana to generate card advantage with. And then I might just want a mix of Helix and Ancient Grudge here. Because like while the Hollowed One deck doesn't draw Hollowed One every game, it sees enough cards that it sees it most games. This league, we're 2-1. We're up a game here in the third match. This hand's really good. I'm going to keep it. There's 25 lands in our deck. They're probably going to Burning Inquiry us anyways. Modern has a very, very deep card pool, which is one of the reasons why it's so intimidating and so inaccessible to new players. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. Been to Bloodghast. Do you have a Hollowed One? Is there a Spooky? No Spooky. That's good for me. I guess I'm doing this into this, and then like next turn I can play land, play Scavenging Ooze, start eating out of their bin. Just like go to town. Hopefully, maybe. The Bloodghast is likely going to be in play next turn. I'm taking 3 more from this Flameblade Adept at least. They're getting 2 Bloodghasts into play here. If they don't have a Bolt for the Scavenging Ooze, we could be in an okay spot. Because while we are taking 3 down to 8 here, I'm going to have a 3-3 Skews and a 3-3 Scavenging Ooze up next turn to like block the Bloodghast, which is nice. Or we're incredibly dead. Or we're incredibly dead. One of the two. One of the two. One of those two things is certain. All right, not dead on board. Go. On the draw, I think we're the control deck most of the time. I don't know. It just depends on how the hands line up, I think. Dead to any removal. Yep. Dead to a Stiff Breeze. Onward, upward, backward, forward to game 3 on the plate. Whenever I want this Helix in, probably want this Helix in. This is good enough. It's a turn 3/5/5. It's probably good enough. You always want to play your off-color fetches first if possible. So we have one Bloodstained Mire and 1 Marsh Flats in our deck because our deck plays 14 fetch lands. Because we just want like max fetches to be able to enable our landfall creatures. We've not played Chandra yet in this league, but I've played Chandra before. This is not our first time playing this deck list. It's one of the many decks you can find on my website with piles of leagues. I think Chandra is very reasonable. She's like a card that allows you to be aggressive against control decks, but also like generate card advantage when you need to be in that role. I think Steppe Lynx is fine. You're not always just about blocking. And nothing blocks this. He's so intimidating, so menacing. Let's have another unblockable idiot. Yep. I probably should have boarded in the last Helix. Never drawing a spell doesn't particularly help either, though. Ready for my 5/5 to die to a fatal push? Or an Abrupt Decay or Assassin's Trophy? Down to 12. I drew. Oh, I drew all my basics. That's rough. That is a tough one. Alright. For all the bananas here. There's what, $6 riding on this match? For those of you that are new to the stream or maybe come in for Magic Arena and aren't familiar, Magic Online is online gambling. So we win actual money and lose actual money when we win and lose matches in this application. So if I win this match, I get $6 worth of currency. If I lose this match, I get if I win the match, I get $10 worth of currency. If I lose the match, I get 4. So there's some swings. The application contains some swings, you could say. Don't tell my mother. All right, so I'm gonna just attack for 3 here. And then next turn, I'll crack this fetch land and then Renegade Rallier it back with 2 Plated Geopedes in play. I think this matchup's actually okay for this deck. We have like 11 removal spells and we have a pretty quick clock. Post-board, we have 11 removal spells and we have the Grim Lavamancers. Our curve's also pretty low, which makes their makes some of their stuff worse against us. Do we want to Rallier the Lava Man? I don't know. I think there's probably a good chance this Rallier doesn't resolve, so I think it's going to be a moot point here in about 30 seconds. I also have like a second Rallier, so that can happen later. Wow, that happened. All right. Nebelgast Herald. All right, that is... You know what, opponent? That card is modern legal. It certainly is modern legal. Yeah, I was just about to say Jackal Girl. That's a good read. Nebelgast Herald, you should signify that they're not playing Collected Company. That's how they fit in other top end. In the Collected Company decks, they don't have room for more stuff like this. Nebelgast Herald says, whenever it or another spirit enters the battlefield under my opponent's control, they get to tap a creature I control. I wonder if they're going to set up a block plus sack Selfless Spirit during this turn. Nope. All right. Well, land. Ew. Heyo. They have, there's probably a spell queller. Yep. So they're gonna tap one of our guys, and then they'll block both of our others. They'll sacrifice the Selfless Spirit to kill the Renegade Rallier. And then they'll hope to, kill us in the air on the backswing by drawing a Lord next turn. Not really, Rack. If you'd have talked to Jeff 5 years ago and you asked him which one of his two hobbies, writing software, playing Magic, was going to pay his bills 5 years in the future, Jeff from 5 years ago would have certainly guessed wrong. He'd be incorrect. In defense of past Jeff's expectations, though, I do get paid to do more than just play Magic, though. A big part of why I have a lot of, the support that I have is definitely part of my organization, the infrastructure that has been built up around what I do, too. That's true, Jackal Girl. Jake barely existed 5 years ago. I guess any creature means I'm dead here. Path to Exile. Nope. Oh, I can't. Oh my god. That's really frustrating. I'm just gonna be done. I guess I'll play the next two. I just assumed they were gonna play a creature, and I didn't realize I wasn't paying attention to the fact that I was at 1, because I was just assuming they were gonna block. So, like, I can't crack this fetch without dying now, but I could have played the Scavenging Ooze pre-combat, and then, like, then they just die because they have nothing. But, like, this is such an unbelievably bad attack if they have nothing, right? I don't know. They made an unbelievably bad attack, potentially. I mean, if they have a path or whatever, then it's fine. And I just didn't play the Scavenging Ooze because I was clicking too quickly. I think this matchup is good for us. I got pretty unfortunate there to not draw a single copy of our 8 pieces of removal in, you know, the top 15 cards of our deck. That's just how it goes. And then I clicked through at the end there when I shouldn't have. And stuff happens sometimes. It's been a long day. Started much earlier today than I usually do. It's a frustrating end to a game where we got unlucky. Those are the games that are the easiest to tilt on, right? They're like, you got unfortunate and then you ended up messing up on top of being unfortunate. And it's really easy to focus on the fact that you got unlucky and not the fact that you messed up. But if you want to get better at Magic and be a better player, you have to kind of own up to the mistakes. Otherwise, you're just never going to get better. If you always blame the shuffler, there's nothing for you to improve on. Oh, you know what? Kessig Wolf Run is probably pretty good in this matchup. I'm going to bring that in, actually. They have a lot of mopey blockers. It's just been a shitty day for Modern. I'm happy. I've actually been rejecting Modern decks really aggressively because people keep submitting mid-rangey things. Like, it isn't even this deck. Like, this deck's pretty close to, like, being a very reasonable Modern deck, right? Like, it can kill people on turn 3, but, like, there's just too many people wanna mope around and play things that are just not playable in this format, because they have, like, a lot of people have this really romanticized idea of what Modern is, because they don't actually play Modern. They play what's effectively casual Magic with Modern legal cards, because lots of people are playing underpowered decks at their local game store. And for a long time, in a desire to just, like, have my queue be full constantly, I accepted a lot of those decks. For a long time, I accepted a lot of those decks, and it's just resulted in just, like, losing a lot of matches. And for a while, it, like, really wasn't a big deal, because it was, like, the only way to get some interesting stuff. But now with Standard being good again, I don't have to, like, sit here and get beat up to have interesting decks to play. We can play a lot of sweet things in Standard and have them go over well. Ooh. If they didn't block with Mausoleum on the rally the turn before, they would have went to 1 and had lethal in the backswing. Sure, but I would have cracked my fetch land and kill them ill. That's why they blocked. They blocked because they were literally dead on board. Yeah, and like the viewer numbers speak for themselves, right? Like, we broke 1,000 people at one point today, but like we're sitting now at 700. Forget what did my average end up being like yesterday? Ooh. But the last 2 days, like Monday we had 1,400 average, and yesterday we had over 1,000. Today we'll be lucky to have like 700, I think, for the average. Just how it goes. And like I said, I'm going to be adjusting my schedule to reflect that a little bit more. I think the idea of doing 1 to 2 Modern leagues each morning to start the day probably makes the most sense, because the viewer counts are lowest then anyways. That's cute. Sure, there's a lot of factors that go into it, but like at the end of the day, as like a content producer and effectively like this is my job, I don't care why it is what it is. If it's not something that I can change, I don't care about the whys and the excuses. The answer is just like there needs to be more of the good thing and less of the bad thing. Get you. All right, no one drop there is good for us. Yeah, we actually have a removal spell in our hand here too, which is nice. We have another land to make the Plated Geopede big. You get to attack for like 10 next turn. My feedback is I enjoy watching the next year, excited to play. When you nurse it or show it's better. Yeah, I agree. And I know that my content is better when I'm enjoying myself, which is why I've been taking less of the decks that just get beat up, because it's harder. It's harder for me to enjoy myself when I'm just getting beat up. Attempt to kill you. All right, sweet. Let's finish 3-2 with this one. I actually really like this Naya deck. Maybe it was a bad one to shove this at the end of a day where we just got beat up, because generally speaking, I think this deck is great. Like I said a couple of times, I think I think decks that can win fast and have access to Damping Sphere are good. I think this deck gets to play the 2 best removal spells in Modern and Fatal Push and Lightning Bolt. This deck's got turn 3 Goldfish draws. I'm going to keep this on the draw. I think especially on the draw, we need to be a control deck in this matchup, and this hand does that well. Maybe I'm supposed to board in a bunch of copies of... Supposed to board in all the Tireless Trackers on the draw, because when you're playing the control role, you need a little bit more velocity in the mid to late game, and Tireless Tracker gives this deck a lot of velocity. Path to Exile. Deal. Drawing a spell at some point would probably be helpful, though. Probably need to draw a spell. I'm gonna play this before playing my land. If they Spell Queller this, I'm gonna shock this in and bolt the Spell Queller. It's not weird that you enjoy the things that I dislike. Fun is a very subjective measure. I think you could generalize things and say, like, there's things that more people tend to find fun than compared to other people, but, like, nobody can say, like, this thing is fun for everybody, because that's just, like, patently not true for anything. Spectral Procession. Okay, that's an interesting one. Well, I mean, I drew one spell this game, at least. I drew one spell this game. I guess I just get my ramp on here because I have Renegade Rallier plus this Wild Nacatl plus this Kessig Wolf Run. Maybe get that going. And as for your comment on a lot of small decisions in a small time frame, I really don't feel like, hey, I eat with the 12-month resub. Thank you for that. I knight the Defender of the Realm. Go forth and protect us from Twitch chat. I don't actually think there's a lot of the fast brutal games of Modern don't actually have that many decisions in them, which is what makes them kind of frustrating. Now, like legacy combo decks tend to have a lot of decisions baked into them in a small amount of time because they have a lot of cantrips in them. I'm excited to draw another land and die next turn, because that's how Magic works. Today was a disappointing day. We got Moderned a number of times. We got Magicked a few times, and when you mix it all up, it just makes for a sad a big old pile of sadness. I don't have anything too constructive or specific to say about this deck list. I don't really think I'd change anything. I messed up the first game of that last match, and we probably should have won it based on their bad attack, so just how it goes. I'll catch all y'all around later. I'm going to be taking tomorrow off for making live content. However, I'm going to be posting 2 new exclusive videos tomorrow morning at some point, and those will be Modern. I'm going to be doing... I'm going to be off over the weekend for the holidays on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, but I'll be posting new exclusives on each of those days as well, so thanks for watching. I'll be back with live content on Friday, and then after Friday, I'll be live again on Tuesday on Christmas afternoon, so... And hey, that was Mr. T, thanks for the 3-month resub. Welcome back. The record doesn't matter. Record doesn't matter.